Hello viewers, today we'll discuss about JWT authentication using ASP.NET Core 6. So we'll create project. So let me give you this short overview. We'll create project, web API project, install required packages, JwtBearer, EntityFrameworkCore and others required packages. Add model, we'll create some model, update appsettings.json file, add db context, update Program.cs, add migration, add controller or use default weather controller, run the project, and we'll check all API using Postman. So let's start. Hopefully we'll complete the project and everyone will like this project. So here is my Visual Studio. Create new project, and I already selected web API. So here is the web API C#. So next, let me copy my project location. So we have to define the project name, JWT web API test .NET 6 D6. This is the project location, and if we select the next, so as we are starting this project, we're starting this tutorial .NET 6 framework. Will select the .NET 6.0. .NET 5 is not out of support, and .NET 6 is long-term support. Configures HTTPS, enable Docker, we can unselect it. Use controller on 6 minimum API, enable open API, we can unselect it and create. Project web API project has been created as a default template. So no DB connection here, no model, no, just default controller, weather controller. If we run this project, we'll get some test data. So build or rebuild. If we just run the project, we can see some test data. If we use this URL in the Postman, then we can get SSL certificate, required SSL certificate. So here is our default project. So we'll connect the database for identity. So no DB connection here. Let me just copy from the project. JWT a valid authentication, valid issue. Go to the properties and application URL 54664 5249. Go to the properties, last chatting. Done. Now we'll create model and db context. So let me first install the required packages. Go to tool and open package manager console, CLS, and if we select just JwtBearer in the web browser, no get. The .NET CLI installation command. We can select package manager, no package 6.0.10. We can select the more stable version like 4 months ago, 6.0.7. Here, package manager, just copy. Install success, and if we go to our next EntityFrameworkCore, EntityFrameworkCore, EntityFrameworkCore package installation success, just for SqlServer. Search. We'll select 6.0.6. Just copying the package manager console. Also installation success. We just last one, EntityFramework tool for DB migration. NoGet, so NoGet package, and also we'll select 6.0.6. 5 months ago it has been updated. So our package installation success. I will create model and db context, update the program file, and create controller also, or also use the default weather controller. It's the default weather controller, and here is the default model. So data for db connection. Data. If we copy the application db context, add new class, namespace is application db.data, so it will be application db.data. So db context is creation success, and I will create model, registration. I'll copy the model for faster the tutorials. So we'll have to create login model, register model, response, and user model. for user role management. So we have login module, username and password, register module, username, email and password, and response for status and message for API, and user rule. So we have added DB context, DB connection, and created models. So we just need to confirm program.cs file stuff, and later we will update, add migration and update the database. So let me open my database. I have been using Azure Data Studio. It's pretty simple and faster. Don't show again. Don't save. Where is my local database? Local server basically, and I'll create new query for checking database and the table data. So if we go to the program file, just default stuff has been here: services controller, Swagger documentations, and authorization. So we have to add DB connections and identity and JW stuff here. And if we go to the other project, close all, Program.cs. Let me copy that. Our DB connection, and if we open our DB connection name is con MSSQL, and DB name is JWT AuthDB. I have created this DB previously for just for testing, so I need to delete this database. So drop database. JWT AuthDB. So database drop successful. Refresh. So there is no JWT AuthDB here. And we have added DB context with the connection string, added identity, authentication, and JwtBearer. So if we just build the project now, no errors, build and rebuild, and if we go to the package manager console, add migration, need create. So if we go to the DB context, we extend identity DB context. So default identity table will be added in the database. So let's see how it works. So if we add migration, so migration has been created successfully. We will get some info message older than the, it's not an issue for this project. And if we update the database, So database update success. If we go to the database and refresh, we can check JWT Auth has been created with the identity and default tables. So from our to do, we have create project, web API project, install required packages, add model, update appsettings.json for DB connection, add DB context also done, update Program.cs file also done, add migration also done. We'll just add controller and use default controller, run project, and using the Postman we'll check all API with authentication and authorization. So there is a difference between authorization and authentication. Authorization is if we go to the googling with image, authorization versus authentication, and here is the good example. Authorization, can you do that? So using JWT, if we request some like data like personal info, so with proper token we have to request, that is authorization. And authentication, if you have a valid credentials like username, password, then you can log in the system, which is called authentication. So there is a difference between authentication and authorization. So let's move to the project, and we have done most of the things. Let me close. I just copy another controller. Create the register login controller. Authentication controller basically. So our namespace name is web application 1.model. So if we go to the authentication controller, I will rename the namespace. It will be .data. Automatically will service application 1.model. Yes, so there is no errors. So let me just give you a simple overview. This controller like login using the proper username password will login into system, as we have used identity. So identity ASP.NET Core identity will take care of user registration, login, and the user management enter system. So here's the registration. So we have already initiated like user identity, user manager, role manager, and for using this user manager and role manager will perform some operation like registration operation. So here is the registration register. If it exists, then it will return a message, unless it will create. Here is the user creation, and we finally return okay if successfully done everything. And here is the register for admin with admin role. This is the simple user, and this is the role using admin. And get token, for once you successfully log in, we have to send the token. So using that token, later we can access weather API controller. So API controller, we have to update this controller for authentication. Currently we can access this, but if we update this controller like just let me disable it. Later we'll show you how it works. So we have added required controllers and complete the migration. So if we go to the JWT how token generation process have been done. So here is the token, get token, and in the program.cs we configure the JwtBearer here, a valid audience, valid issuer from appsettings.json file, and here is the secret. So it will be your random secret. It will be your actual secret basically. Yeah, I just copy and paste secret here, and we can change the secret like AST707 something. Build and rebuild. If we run the project, so project has been run successfully. Here is the Swagger documentation. We have login, register, and register admin controller, and get controller for weather focused. If we just try out already just simple one data we get. Login module, register module, execute. So already we have get the data, and here is the request URL. And if we go to the Postman just for testing, send the request, we can just access this like weather API controller. If we add the authorization with role and request again, sorry, we need to build the project. Build and run the project again. So I have run the project, and if we go to the Postman, so here is the unauthorized. So we need to register user and login and get token. With proper token, JW token, we will get the weather API focused data. So I already create all the required Postman collection like register. Here is the username, email, and password. Password must be a number and a character. So let me try the registration. User creates successfully. So using this username and password, if we just log in, then we will get a token, hopefully. So it's the body, username, and password. If we send request, yes, as I mentioned, we get a token. So let me copy the token. So token, just let me give you a simple overview. Have three parts with dot: part 1, part 2, and part 3. If we go to the JWT.io, so here's the details about JWT. JWT JSON Web Token. And if we talk about the three parts, so what is the JSON Web Token structure? First part is header, second part is payload, and third part is signature, like this format. So our registration is success using this URL. Login also success, we get the token. And if we request this weather focused API, we are getting unauthorized. And so we have to not admin, it will be just user, rebuild, run. So if we just using user, we are getting also unauthorized. So we need to add token raw in the authorization we have to select bearer token, and if we paste the token, let me copy the token again. So here is our token, copy, and if we add token and send request again, forbidden, we have to pass the right base URL. So here is our right base URL. Don't save, weather focused, and if we go to the authorization, I need to copy the token again, paste. I just copy the whole stuff. Getting error, invalid character header content authorization view console. So we are getting error. We disable this role. Rebuild. Run the project again. Request again, not send request. Invalid character authorization. Anyways, so we'll get weather focus HTTP. rebuild. If we run the project again, we can check in the Postman. If we send the request, weather focused, not found. Get also not found. Let me define the route. If we define the route and try again, build, rebuild, we run the project freshly again and go to the Postman, where weather focused, and the route name get weather focused. Getting 4. So if we request the get weather focused, and we are getting data, and if we add the authorization in the controller or rebuild and run, if we run the project and using the Postman request, we are getting unauthorized. Because of user role admin and also authorization, we have to request using token. So let me create the admin user using the Postman. Here is the admin user. So if we send request, user created successfully. And if we log in like Shahid2, name is password is same. So login is success. If we copy the token and go to the weather focus, unauthorized, if we add the bearer token, we send the request. So using proper token, we are getting expected data. So summary is as our net disconnected, let me connect my network. Summary is we have to registration and login, and once we log in we get a token. Using the token request, if we send the request, we will get valid data. So in this project JWT web token, we summarize like create project, install required dependency, add migration and DB connection, and finally using authentication controller we have registered and login and get token. So here is the get token method. So hopefully we cover all the details about JWT web token using ASP.NET Core 6.0. So it's a long video, so I will upload this code in the GitHub so that you can get the project and run the project. Also I will share the Postman collection as well, so you just need to import the Postman collection. So thank you for watching and thank you for your time. So in the middle of the video we have some errors and we fix those, and finally we can successfully run and get expected data. So hope see you in the next video. Thank you.